Did you miss me? It's Lukie, and I'm back. I've had a little hiatus because I've just had a lot going on. Not that I don't care about you guys. And because I took a little time off, could you do me a favor and hit the like button, subscribe to the content if you don't already, or leave a comment on what kind of content you'd like me to do next? Would you like me to go to a golf course and play some average golf? Would you like a young golfer to really beat me and embarrass me? Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see, and hopefully I can do it, although sometimes I lack motivation to do stuff. So we will see if I have the motivation to do it, but more than likely I will. In this video, I'm going to talk about La Purisima, which I certainly hope I am saying the name of it right. La Purisima is in Lompoc, California. It's right next to a mission, and it is a wonderful treat in terms of public golf. I had played Alisal Ranch, like kind of a really nice course in this general area. I work in St. Inez from time to time. In fact, I will be going back in December. So if anyone sees this, wants to play golf with me, and is like, hey, I can play better than you, your swing sucks, would love to play with you and love to prove to you that you actually can beat me and that it's not that big of an accomplishment. I love that stuff. That being said, this course is really hard. And what I mean by really hard is there is a lot of ways to lose your golf ball, whether it's into trees that surround areas of the course, whether it's water. The course is very much a thinking man's golf course. I always feel like I like those courses until they're super penalizing and targety. Very much a U.S. Open inspired golf course. Let me unpack what I mean by saying that. When I say it's a U.S. Open inspired golf course, it feels like there's a certain way the course is supposed to be played, and it's a test of those abilities. So it rewards things like distance and accuracy, in my opinion, and it puts a premium on hitting golf shots high and being able to stop them on the greens with lots of bunkers in the front. Coming back from trips to Ireland and Scotland, on the other hand, you have greens where maybe you could run a ball in. This course on some holes offers those options, but it doesn't always offer that. This is the classic, really, really nice golf course with a lot of interesting golf holes and unique architecture. In fact, I would say between this and Monarch Dunes, those are my two favorite so far in this general area, though they're a little ways away from each other. This is a lot more punishing and a lot more unforgiving of a course. Now, could it be that I'm not talented enough to play from the blue tees and I played from the wrong tees? That might be. Very reasonable price point. I'll put the price on the screen right now, or what it looks like right now, so you can get a feel for it. But what I also liked was the course unveils itself at different points, and you get unique shots. So that, like, I believe it's 8 and 9 have blind tee shots, and as you get on the back nine, you start to go up this hill, and as you go up this hill, it's almost like as the walk gets harder, because I walk, the course got harder. So really neat experience that I went in with very low expectations with, and I left pleasantly surprised. So if you're going in this area, I think that this is the best option for unique golf holes. Now, if you're someone that wants to shoot for the score and play your very best, this is probably the worst place to play, because unless you're an exceptional golfer, like we're talking about someone who could play on the mini tour, or someone that's like a 5 and under who's very, very good golfer, you're probably going to get worked, because the course is just very, very demanding, and it's asking you to hit the same type of shot over and over. And did I mention over and over and over again, right? And most of us that just casually play golf aren't able to do that, and that becomes frustrating, because you want to have this number that is associated with greatness, like I shot a 70, I shot a 79, I shot an 80, 81. These are numbers that like fulfill you, and you're like, wow, look at how good I am. Look at the mastery I have in golf that I can shoot this number. This course is going to humble you, because, as I said before, it's an execution test. It's very, very difficult. So if you're willing to go and play a course, understand that it's tough, and play it more to experience it, and then work backwards from the experience into how can I best score on the course, you will love it. If you're going to this course to play for score, which when I encounter a lot of people, who always, like, lately to help with my mindset in golf, I forget what my score is because, like, it doesn't help at times because I get really mad when I'm like, score, score, score. So I'm trying not to remember my score because it helps. Uh, this is the best course to, like, get you really frustrated because when things go downhill, they really go downhill at this course. Um, what what else should I know? You need at least 12 golf balls. Not that you'll need all of them, but you need a backup in terms of golf balls playing this course because it's very easy to lose golf balls, in my opinion, especially as I talked about. When things go bad at this course, they really start to just compound and things get worse and worse. And it's almost like it's an architectural element that the holes are built in a way. So if you start to have struggle, the course also, like, assists the struggling. There's no easing back on this course. It felt in a weird way and nothing like it. Felt like the way I felt on Prestwick, which is a blog coming up soon, but it's not going to be the fascinating play along blog. It's going to be more of commentary. But Prestwick has holes in Scotland where I got to, like, holes 8, 9, 10, 11, and I'm just not getting on the green in 2, and I'm playing into a headwind, and it's just really long and frustrating, and it's just grueling and tough. And there are holes on this course, especially from the blue tees, which I'm probably playing the wrong tees, where it was just grueling, hard, and tough. So keep that in mind. Pick the right tees. Wind does happen. Wind is here. So if you're not a fan of the wind, keep that in mind. And remember that accuracy is really important here. Feels nice to be back. Here's La Purisima. And that was basically let me get back to the office type thing. This is the first hole. We're going to kind of glance over some of these holes. It's not going to be your best vlog ever. So the first hole kind of takes you into, like, the land that the course sits on. It's a dog leg left. There's hazard down the left. It's kind of open right that runs parallel to the 10th tee. But the big thing about this course is it's very penalizing. So that's something to keep in mind. Look at me not hitting a fairway wood, hitting an iron like I'm going to pure it or something. My mom would be so proud of me for that shot. Kind of reminds me of bridges, so this is where I laid up to, and then you're hitting up a hill. You have to gauge distance. That was not a good swing. And there's a bunch of bunkers, and you can hit your ball into trouble. It's just, look at this. I hit a decent shot in there, above decent, and it's like you don't even get really that rewarded, or else I'm not that good. That's another elephant in the room. But very much like, I don't know if you'd call it like U.S. Open golf. They call it La Piranha, the locals do in Lompoc. And it's punishing. So this is a neat hole. You can either go straight and try to, like, just keep the ball in play, or you can be an idiot like me and hit it over the trees and hope you don't hit it into this water hazard that's to the left, which I totally didn't document. Super fun hole. Also, be courteous and, like, take your time because you could totally hit into someone, and it's kind of dangerous too, like a risky public access type hole. Just have a really, really blind shot, but it's a pretty neat shot. I can't even remember what that did, but I didn't film some of these putts because I didn't really care getting back in the swing. So the third hole at La Purisima kind of explains the course in a nutshell. So there's 2 bunkers. You're hitting over water. It's a decent distance. I thought I put, by my standards, okay, guys, not maybe the best swing in the world, but by my standards, that was a good swing. It landed about 7 feet. Hits a ridge and goes back down to there. Now, when you watch this, watch how much break it has. Like, I'm like, okay. Oh, man. Didn't get it high enough. Didn't hit it hard enough. And I think most people that watch this channel know what's coming next. It's an ugly, ugly thing. Look at this. I know what's coming, too, because I pulled the pin out. I'm standing over this. I'm going to actually act like I'm reading it. We got the dreaded 3-putt. And that's where I think a lot of people might be frustrated with this course is it's very punishing. It asks specific, like what does Tron and No Laying Up say? It asks specific questions and wants specific answers. It's not like your kind of casual go have fun course. You could casually go have fun at this course, but it's kind of demanding in the way of a Bethpage Black, where this hole reminded me of that. Once again, taking iron off the tee. Who am I? I feel like such a player. My mom would be proud once again. And now look, you probably can't tell because I'm aligned so bad. There's water to the left from third hole, there's just a ton of bunkers and you're hitting uphill. Not really a ton of wind on this hole on this day, but you still got to judge
Judged it
between
wrong.
the uphill and all that stuff. You can kind of see the water behind that comes into play. Flew it over just barely, and now I'm boned. So now I hit a good shot to the fairway. I hit a decent approach, but it wasn't the exact approach. At a lot of courses, you'd have a good chance to get up and down. That was like a really awkward sand shot that I thought I hit well, and it went past the pin, and I ended up making bogey. I think this was from June because I've just been really swamped with work. So I'm giving you a medley of videos, which I hope you guys like. Uh, the next two holes, and that is awesome that something just fell out of my pants. Look at the way I'm leaning. These next two holes are pretty forgettable. They just go up and down a hill of part of the property. They're just longer shots, but this is pretty neat. So you can get a look at the views. So if you're a views person, if you're really into taking in the views, these are some of the views from this part of the property. More memorable than the holes, although it's always fun to hit golf shots. You don't really need to see those holes. This is the next hole coming back up that leads to an interesting hole. You're going to see a really bad swing. You're going to see how I misgauged by like 3 yards and ended up with a buried lie and an awkward shot around a tree. That's kind of what it is. This is a blind tee shot that leads into basically like hell, or I guess you call it a fairway, but you hit a blind shot and you can kind of, it's a risk reward where you can take on as much as you want, but good luck finding your ball. I just kind of hit a spinning right ball, which has been lately my driver shot. And then I had about 180 uphill, which for casual golfers, I don't think many people have that shot. And then add to it, the rough here isn't like super thick, but it's enough to impact the ball. And then that left me with this pitch in front of a bunker. And obviously, it wasn't that great because I didn't film the putting. So, like, that's that. But look at the dynamics you can see of where you're hitting down to and then how high up you're hitting to. It's a really fun hole. And then that's followed by another hole that kind of plays on the same idea. Actually, it's basically a very similar hole, but a little bit more wide open to the right and a little bit more wide open to the left. But once again, a blind tee shot. Really want to emphasize, if you play this course, be super careful that you're not hitting into people, because this is totally a course where you could get hit into and it would not be fun. So I hit driver, and I want to say 4-iron into this because I'm a super power hitter, and I made a 2-putt there. So I was actually like super stoked. This, I'd read reviews, is like what people call like a US Open type par 3, because if you look, you got to thread the needle left. You can go into a hazard, 2 bunkers surround the green, and basically you don't want to go right either. I felt super proud that I hit a 4 or a 5-iron to the back of the green, and then these greens are pretty darn fast. So like, even when you give yourself a quote unquote scoring position chance, a lot of times, at least for me playing this course at my skill set, it feels like I'm just trying to hang on. And that's, I think that as you get older and more mature, you have to just understand there's courses that are so challenging, you have to kind of ease your way into the course. I believe this is the 10th hole. I can't really remember. This looks like this is the 10th hole. So the 10th hole, I think it's a par 4, but I played it like a par 5, which is that's always a sick feeling. There's going to be a big divot. That almost looks like I made a good shot, but it was not. I think I tried to do that thing where I'm like, let me chip a 7-iron, and it went like 90 yards. So once again, a little out of position. I wish I had shown you guys where this ball went, because this was such a good chip, in my opinion. I hit such a good chip there. And I think I made par. Maybe I missed the putt and got bogey, but no one really cares. There was a really cool par 4 before that. It's just like this mega slice that I guess I didn't film, but maybe I filmed it and it's just out of whack and I couldn't find it. But this is a hole that really captured my eye because it really reminded me of Pine Needles in North Carolina. There's a hole where you hit over water like this, and to get this type of shot on a golf course is always really fun. I think that I set this up too, and I'm looking because it was like a 200-yard carry, and for me, the big hitter, I'm really, really nervous about getting over the water. Hit some form of a hybrid up there, and then I had a wedge in. Just a pretty neat hole. You can basically go as far left as you want, but then right is dead. This hole destroyed myself. As you can tell, I'm kind of just doing vibes vlogging. You're like, if you want every single shot, you're not gonna get it this time. Sorry, a little rusty at this. A little rusty, but we're getting back there. As you can tell, I'm really heavy vibing. I think I'm a little bit buffer. So let me know in the comments if you think I'm a little buffer. I think there's a little bit more thickness up in the shoulders and a good thickness, powerlifting thickness. So basically, 190 is all you want here. I did the moron line where I'm like, let me cut a 3-wood, and I ended up putting it in the trees and probably making like a triple. But it's just all about placement. Then this hole is like kind of similar. You have to move the ball right to left. I can't do that with a driver, so I had to aim super left and hit basically a slice. And this is, I believe, don't quote me on this, I think this is the double dog leg, where there's like 2 dog legs in the hole. But you're hitting down to this tier of architecture or whatever you want to call it, and there's like an unplayable area all down your right. And I can't even remember if this is a 4 or 5, because I've been playing so much golf on courses where it feels like I can't get on it too, that it's hard to even know. I gave someone like some good vibes, like, hey, you can hit. So I had a wedge in here. I'm gonna catch it skinny, raised up on it. It's always a vibe, leave a like to this video if you've ever hit a good approach shot and then hit a wedge a little skinny and over a green. So then the views here are cool. The greens are pretty darn solid for a public course, especially. Really got lucky that didn't go into like a waste area. I think that's because the rough is thick enough here that sometimes if you catch a shot thin, you can get saved by it. And then, made the putt. Love that. This hole, I wish I had to film more. It's so hard. It's like a 450-yard, narrow, tough par 4 with a tree in the middle. But I struggled on it, and that's all you get. Is like, I hit that, I'm like, it's going right, and I was frustrated. And now I believe we're at 18 already. I know you're like, wow, we breezed through this, but I'm giving you the vibe of the course. So 18, kind of an anticlimactic 18, if we're being honest. There's more dramatic holes, but you do have to hit over a ditch. I know for some people that's like a thrill. Like, I got to get it over this thing, Okay, everybody. So if you made it through this video, and I applaud you for doing that, because that would be really thoughtful and nice of you for doing that, let me know. Was this bad? Am I rusty? Leave some comments. I've preloaded videos until about January 1st-ish. But I want to make better content. So let me know, where would you like me to go? What would you like me to do? How would you like me to get rejected by big manufacturers who say I don't have the reach to make content on the internet because I'm not relevant? Let me know, and I will try to do that. So leave a comment. Let me know how I can improve. Thank you.